Thanks to the support as a channel member, Matthew Anderson. Never let it be said, I don't pay attention to the comments section today. We are going to be experimenting with a two-striker formation. Hello, welcome to part 31 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have games against Bastia and Pau, both in the league. Since you were last with me, as you can see, form has been not too bad, a little bit mixed. Usual kind of thing. When 2-2 performs, we win. As you can see, 2-2 scored twice there. We won the game. Didn't score, we drew. Didn't score, we lost. 2-2 scores, we win. 2-2 scores, we win. Doesn't score, we... You get the message. We are very much relying on Gabriel 2-2. And as much as that's been enough to get us to fourth place in the league, and fourth place in the league is fine, and 2-2 is top scorer in the league, and that's great, we still have this ongoing issue that I've been going on about for ages, where he scores his goals in clumps, 2 there, 2 there, 2, 4, so 6 there across those couple of games, and then has these long spells where he does absolutely nothing. He needs some help, and the help he's getting is Ulrich Gamer. We've talked about it a couple of times. He is the most talented youngster we've got at the club, so we're going to try him up front as a deep lying forward alongside 2-2. Selection advice completely disagrees with me. That thinks Nguema should be out on the right. We drop 2-2 deep and play Barcola up front. So if what I'm proposing doesn't work, we do have a plan B that we can try that my assistant manager is pushing for. But this is the version that we're going to try first, because I'm Kev and I'm probably right. We're going with Mandrea in goal, a back four of Cisse, Carter, Moltanes and Abdallah, Renault and Keita in midfield, and then Lemina and Barcola out wide with Nguema and 2-2 up front. The system itself is very similar to what we've been using. We've basically just removed, pushed the deep line playmaker forward and then pushed the Mazzala forward to be the deep lying forward, and nothing else really has changed. The rest of the system, all the instructions, is all exactly as it was. The idea being we just need to get someone up there a little bit closer to 2-2 so he doesn't have all of the goal scoring pressure on him, and so that hopefully we can just support him a little bit more, create him a few more chances, get him to play better and more consistently, but also make sure we have other options up there with him for when he doesn't have the best of games. So Nguema has been training since the start of the season to play as a Mazzala. We have switched him to train as a deep lying forward now, but he's not been practicing in this role. He's played it a couple of times late on in matches when we've switched to this kind of system, but this is the first time he's done it from the start. So I'm not expecting brilliant stuff immediately, but I do want to see signs that we're moving in the right direction. I want to see moves that look like they wouldn't have happened under the old system. What I would really love to see is a big ball forward, a flick down by Nguema, and 2-2 knocking it in, because that's the kind of goal we never would have scored previously. And what I'm actually seeing is just play the ball all the way back to Mandrea. Hopefully not because we're missing a man in midfield and we didn't have options in there. Renault playing it forward to Barcola, who's got forward. Barcola is in and scores. I mean, I felt it was potentially a little offsidey, but it seems like the referee and the linesman disagree, and I'm not going to press the point with them. It's a ball forward from Renault. It's a very, after saying we were looking for something a little bit different, it's a very typical route to goal for us. Renault, as the deep line playmaker, gets the ball on the halfway line, dunks it over the top for Barcola, who is rushing forward from the right-hand side and grabs himself a goal. The question is, does the presence of Nguema create space for Barcola there? And that is a question that I'm not smart enough to be able to answer. But importantly, we are 1-0 up, and at the moment, that pushes us all the way up to third place. There is a little bit of a gap above us to the two teams in the automatic promotion spots, but seems like positive change so far. Keita with the in-swinger. Carter is there, but can't keep his header down. It goes just over, and now it's Bastia again with a free kick, and referee, linesman, somebody flag that. He must have been offside there. I think he is offside. It has been disallowed, I think. He was well offside. Right, it is another move starting for Bastia, but hopefully we're going to win the ball back. My big concern here is that we do start getting overwhelmed in midfield, and we might possibly have to drop to something even similar to what we were using when we were deep down in the lower leagues. We played a flat 4-4-2 for a long time, so if we do struggle for possession in midfield, there is the option to drop the wide players deeper. The only problem is most of them are out-and-out wingers, not really wide midfield players, so that might have its own struggles attached to it. And Nguema did win a header there. He is 6'2". There's a lot of him. So, I don't know. Is that something that wouldn't have happened previously? I don't know. My assistant manager just sat there grinning at me because his proposal was Barcola should be the one playing up alongside 2-2. And although we've not done it, Barcola is the one who's played best and got a goal so far. So he's grinning because he thinks he's proved his point that Barcola's a striker. I'm arguing that Barcola got his goal because we played him out wide, and I'm a genius, not the assistant manager. But we do like to try and out-genius each other. Mandrea just made a save, which is nice. That's the one other tweak we've made to the system. Mandrea is now just a goalkeeper rather than a sweeper keeper. I think being a sweeper keeper might have been confusing him. So as much as I'd always prefer use a sweeper keeper, let's just get him focusing on not conceding as many goals, and he seems to have done all right with that goal today. Right, we are going to try Barcola up front because Nguema's going to come off, and we are going to put Lemina onto that right hand side, I think, and bring on Kingsley Gotan to come on over here so he can do what he normally does over here. And then Barcola, should we push Barcola further forward? Because what the assistant manager was proposing was that. So let's try that for 20 minutes. 2-2 dropping a little bit deep, taking goal scoring pressure off of the man with 9 finishing, have him operating a little bit deeper, and have Barcola as the guy pushed furthest forward. My reservation about doing this is that we have played Barcola as our lone striker before, and he just didn't really do anything. But maybe he needs someone up there alongside him. Right. Chacon can play as a winger over there. That's absolutely fine. We're just going to make our usual bunch of changes. I don't know. Do I bring Vinny Triboulet on? 2-2 could do with coming off, really. But I want 2-2 to have 10 minutes playing deep. So we're going to leave him on for 10 minutes. We'll see how he does playing as a deep lying forward. And then as he starts, I mean, he's not exactly tired, is he? In fact, Barcola, if anything, is tired. Barcola's probably the one who should come off, put them that way round, or do we leave them that way round as I continue to experiment with 2-2, and then Traore can come on, or Keita as the final change. We're still only 1-0 up. I'm always a little bit worried making all these substitutions that we are potentially inviting our opponents back into the match, especially when we've only got the 1-goal lead, but fingers crossed we can grab a breakaway goal here. Triboulet does very well to turn and play the ball out wide to Chacon, and now 2-2 playing in that deeper role, running at the defender, couldn't get the crossover, but Chacon is there, and Traore has pushed well forward from midfield. I have no idea what Traore is doing in that position. He's a box-to-box midfielder on support. He was the furthest man forward, but I'll take it. It's a second goal. It just about secures the win for us today, and that part of that move is something that wouldn't have happened before. So we had the winger play it into the support striker, and then we still had men in the middle. Triboulet was in there. Obviously, it is a midfielder bursting forward who's ended up grabbing the goal. But I think as an experiment, we've played pretty well with this system today. I don't think we've necessarily learned anything new about how to get the best out of 2-2, because we haven't really got the best out of 2-2 today. But he was definitely involved in the build-up to that goal, so that's got to be a good thing. Right, Carter to Maltanes, 2-2, dropping deep again. And now Traore, again, bursting out of midfield. Every now and again, Traore has these mad games where he just is constantly attacking. And today seems to be one of those days for him, 2-2. Linking up the play nicely for us again. And now Chacon beats his man. Triboulet is in the middle if we can find him, but 2-2's pulled off here. And has he scored? Or has it come off a defender? It's gone down as an own goal. 2-2 seems to have been more involved since dropping into the deeper role. The only problem, of course, is that's the role that I really want Nguema to be playing. Are we sticking him back out wide, even though that's not his best role? The problem we've got, it's not even the 2. I've called it the 2-2 problem in an episode title before. It's an Nguema problem because he's our best young player, our big, expensive prospect that we know we're going to sell for loads of money in a couple of years, or maybe even less, so we probably shouldn't rely on him too much. And B, he doesn't really fit into the system. So are we going to change the system around for a guy who's only going to be here for 6 months or a year? Why is there so many cobwebs in my office all of a sudden? They're not usually here. Oh, so many questions to ask ourselves. Well, we continue with the experiment for the power game. We have a few players returning to the team as well. De Lest and Van der Merch were both suspended for the last game. Gomez is just returning from injury. Despite being made of iron, he does seem to get injured a lot. So those three are back in. We are sticking with Tutu and Nguema up front, at least for the start of the game. I was happy. It's a conundrum. It's a pickle. I liked what Tutu was doing in the last 20 minutes of that game when he was playing a little bit deeper. The problem we've got, we don't really have anyone to consistently play beyond him, whether it's Barcola, whether it's Tribble, whatever his name is, Triboulet. It comes back to that same old thing that we've had for the last couple of years of Tutu plays every week because he's the only decent striker we've got. If we're withdrawing him and playing him deeper, we still don't have anyone to play as striker. We're back to that same problem. So I want this to work. And Nguema and Tutu should work. The best player at the club, the best youngster at the club, playing in roles that theoretically should suit them. The only problem is we're half into a game against a team down in the relegation zone and we've not had a highlight yet. So it's obviously not doing lots today, although we have got a highlight here. Cisse to Barcola, who's dropped deep. And now Tutu is in and absolutely scuffs his finish. Fluffing his lines once again. It is the Tutu story. Oh, so often he gets into those kind of positions, and if it's not his day, he'll play like that. And there's no point persisting with him on days like this because he won't do anything now. Now we know he's in that kind of mood. Watch him get a hat-trick now. But usually, when he's in that kind of mood, it means he's going to have one of these days. And now we've given away a penalty as well. De Lest back in the team today after his suspension and immediately acting like a hooligan again. And Mandrea to save the penalty, and he doesn't. And we're losing against a team down in the relegation zone. And as I was mentioning earlier, our inconsistency is infuriating. We're third in the league. We're third in the league and just played really well in the previous match. And now we've got no attacking oomph again. I need oomph in my team. Won't somebody give me some oomph? We're going to swap the attackers around, I think, after this highlight. And I might have to defer to my assistant manager's great wisdom. And, Van der Merch missing a header and Mandrea getting him out of trouble there. Right, let's shuffle everybody around to how the assistant manager thinks they should be, which I think was like that. I think that was what selection advice said to do. We'll leave it there for 5 minutes. And then we're going to make our usual 70th minute changes anyway. We've got to take Gomez off because he's still recovering from his injury. And I think Keita looked like he was tiring as well. I don't know if we've got enough central midfielders on the bench to take them both off. But we'll figure something out. David Carter will be knocking around. He can play in midfield if need be. Keita then. No. Just no. Right. We're going to take off both of you boys. Renault's going to come on. And then I guess we are going to play David Carter as a box-to-box midfielder. He'll be fine. Lemina has been rubbish, so Gotan can come on for him. And then we just sort of leave everything else as it is for now, I think, and hope that Tutu and Barcola conjure something up between them. Martinez forward to Carter, who has played, or he's done very well, in fact, to play Nguema in. Nguema with the deep cross, looking for Barcola, who can't win the header. That's where it really needed to be. Nguema on the end of the cross as well, with his little bit of extra physical presence. Gotan doing an excellent job of tracking back there, only for Cisse and Carter between the two of them to give the ball away again. Renault dropping into his little deep pockets that he likes, and now Tutu dropping deep as well. And Nguema turns. He's got support, doesn't need it, finds Barcola. Oh, he's not a striker, is he? Oh, my goodness. I don't even know how to commentate on that. It was just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Get Vinny on. Come on, Vinny. Come and save the season. Oh, save the season. We're still doing very well. Right, we'll bring on Abdullah for Van der Merch. And there's got to be a goal in it. No, that's the wrong button. There's got to be a goal in us. In these final 10 minutes, we are better than this team we're playing. We're just still struggling to figure out what the best 11 is. And Nguema, who has looked brighter dropping out wide. He wasn't really in the game at all playing in the middle. playing out wide, he has been an improvement. But is it going to be enough of an improvement to grab us a late equaliser in this game? 5 minutes remaining. Triple A playing into 2-2. And there is Gabriel 2-2 to grab the equaliser. I said he wasn't going to score today. Shows what I know. And interesting that he was running from deep because he's playing as that deep line forward. He got to start his run a little earlier. It gave him time to pick his shot. It's meant he's unmarked. He's dropped into that little pocket and then just timed his run beautifully. And he's there for the finish. So by experimenting with 2 up top, have I established that 2-2 is better as the second striker and got myself back into the same situation we've been in for years where we still need a main striker? Maybe Nguema can do that. Maybe Nguema can do that. We'll have a fiddle. We'll have an experiment. But you won't see the results of the experiment until Wednesday. And those of you who watched the Kylian Mbappe video on Saturday will already know the situation I'm about to explain. And let's face it, that's probably all of you because it got more views than this episode will get because it was an episode 1. But the way that series is structured is it's theoretically a weekly series, but every time a video hits 5,000 likes, we release another episode. So the episode that came out on Saturday has now hit 5,000 likes, which means episode 2 of that series will be out tomorrow instead of a tour video. I don't want to get to the point where I'm doing multiple videos a day because then they start to butcher each other in the algorithm. So when we release an Mbappe video, we can't release a tour video that day. What I might be able to do is squeeze an extra tour one in at the end of the week, depending on what happens with the network game and stuff like that. But fingers crossed, network game is back this week as well. So to cut all the waffle, today you've got tour. Tomorrow, another PSG Kylian Mbappe video. And then Wednesday, tour will be back at 4 o'clock. And the rest of the week will play out the way the rest of the week plays out. But for now, we're still 3rd in the league. And I still have no idea what my best formation or best team is. So I guess that means that's probably quite good for the halfway point of the season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.